Hi, I'm Pinky, and I'm joined by Ankit from GAfix. In this segment, we're diving into the story behind GAfix and how our audit tool came to life and the struggles people have with Google Analytics. Ankit, you want to give us a quick intro of yourself?
Sure. Hi. Thanks, Pinky, for having me here. So I'm Ankit. I'm basically a GA4 GTM web analytics expert with around about I would say 4 years of experience helping businesses, fix their tracking issues. I first started my career with UA, that is Universal Analytics, and then Google rolled out Google Analytics 4. And with this shift, most of the businesses, most of the teams around the world, they they face challenges with this shift. Basically, the GA4 UI, the way GA4 worked, the tracking model on which it worked, and also the reporting as well. These are sort of like the areas where they first face these issues. And throughout my experience, we have audited we have audited like hundreds of businesses, agencies, and with these experiences, uh, we feel like teams around the world, agencies around the world, they tend to look for a smarter, or a faster way to do these audits that will save them a lot of time. And I feel like that's sort of like the inspiration from that sort of like made us build something like GFX, I would say.
So, for the people who don't really know what GA4 is, can you give a little introduction as to what Google Analytics is and what use it is for companies and businesses?
Yeah, sure. So Google Analytics 4 is a tool from Google. It's sort of like a web analytics tool wherein it basically, tracks and analyzes user behavior on your website or app for that
Okay.
matter. Yeah, it has. The setup is really simple. You can either set it up by just placing that particular GFO script on your website, or use Google Tag Manager to set it up, and
Okay.
then yeah, it'll be set up right away. You can see data flowing into your GA4 property right away. Yeah, that's it.
And how is Google Analytics different from Universal Analytics or UA that Google had earlier?
Yeah, so Universal Analytics focused on sessions more,
Okay.
uh, whereas in
What
GA4,
exactly is a session?
so session is basically you go to a website, you visit a particular website, a session starts.
Okay.
Yeah. And in that session, whatever you do, you visit certain pages, you click on certain buttons, you complete a purchase action for that matter, all of those events will be, attributed to that session. So
Okay.
yeah, that's basically a session. And in GA4, the model is a little different. It's more or less event-based model. GA4 focuses on, capturing events with parameters. Also
Okay.
allows GA4 to capture around about, 500 events per session. So yeah, that's sort of like, that was a limitation with UA.
Okay. And how is this events different from sessions?
So events are basically actions that you do on websites.
Okay.
Events can start from page views. That is very, I would say that's the most basic event. You visit on the home page of a website, you visit on the pricing page, you visit on the contact page. Those are three different events.
Sure.
But then the session remains one.
Oh, okay. So that's the difference between that. You can have multiple events in one session and not vice versa.
Yeah.
Okay. And did people face a lot of issues when they were migrating from UA into GA?
Yeah, definitely. So, first of all, the UI, the people faced a lot of issues with the way GA4 showed stuff on their UI, the way it reported. UA had fixed reporting, UIs, wherein GA4 gives you more options with it. There is a exploration section in GA4 wherein you can customize all your reports,
Okay.
and that is something that UA did not have. But UA had views, which was fixed. The metrics, the dimensions that you can see in the report was fixed. But I don't know, people sort of like that. So yeah, that was one of the things with UA, and also uh, one thing that GA4 gives you is cross-device tracking, or
Okay.
cross-platform tracking, I would rather say,
What
where
exactly is that?
so if you have a web and you have an app, you can have a single property, and
Okay.
create multiple streams for your web stream and your app stream, and
Oh,
both of those platforms data will reflect in the same property.
so you're getting your analysis for all your platforms all together at
Yep,
once.
yep.
Okay. And you were talking about customizing reports in GA4. Can you explain that a little bit as to what the user can do with those reports?
Yeah, sure. So there is a very specific, section in GA4. It's called explorations. You can just go there, and it's sort of like these, dashboard tools that are available in the market, like
Sure.
Looker Studio, Power BI, but just a limited version of that, I would say. You
Okay.
can just go and select what metrics, what dimensions you want to see the report for, and yeah, generate a report.
But would that cover if like you have issues in your underlying GA data? Are those reports going to be able to pinpoint that, or you're just going to be getting reports on wrong data then?
No, I would say, I mean, yeah, first of all, if your tracking is not set up correctly, if you're getting polluted data, the reports will show the same. But there are certain limitations with the exploration feature that GA4 has. Even if you have the right data, you cannot see. I mean, whatever reports you generate, there is a limitation of rows, I would say, and there
Okay.
are certain other limitations as well. That's where this particular feature is a little behind, I would say. But yeah, that's it.
Okay, and you were mentioning tracking issues. Can you highlight a little bit about that? What do you mean by tracking issues exactly, and like what do people face in that?
Yeah. So very basic tracking issues that people face or people have in the GA4 is duplicate events.
Okay.
Yeah, there will be multiple events that basically track the same thing, and there will be with tracking issues there can be things that event is not tracking correctly, which it is supposed to track. Like for example, let's say if you want to track how many people fill out a contact form on your website. You set up the tracking using code or GTM, whatever you want to do it, however you want to do it. But then it's not actually tracking it. Maybe it can track people who land on the contact page but not
Oh,
fill out the form.
sure.
So it's very important to add the right trigger and understand what you want to track, and set the right trigger, set the right logic, and track it.
Is this the reason GFX came about, and like some of the issues that people face in GA4 or like while migrating? Is that why y'all built GFX? GFX?
I would say all of it. I would say every single reason that we just discussed. I think all of it contributed to GFX. With the UI issues that businesses face, GA4 is big. GA4 is really useful, but it's intimidating at the same time. We fix to we tend to resolve this with GFX. And the other issues that we discussed, tracking gaps, configuration issues, setup issues, and whatnot. We aspire to fix all of these issues with GFX.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit more about GFX and what all you're looking at within the reports in GFX, and how is it different from getting the information within GA4 itself?
Sure. So what with GFX, I would say, so basically what we have done is we have divided a particular GA4 property into subparts. We call them checkpoints in our GFX UI. So we have, more than 20 checkpoints, starting from property configuration, where we see, what are the particulars of a particular property. And then, going all the way to traffic source effectiveness. We have checkpoints like UTM persistence to check if websites have UTM, persisting throughout their all the URLs. And we have traffic source effectiveness. We have landing page, and we are trying to dig as deep as we can with a particular GA4 property. And how is it different from actually just seeing everything in your GA4? I would say, like I said, GA4 is a very smart tool, and it's first of all, it's free of I mean it's free to
Yeah.
use, and it's a web analytics tool. But like I said, it can be intimidating for the end user. I
True.
mean, most of the content that is there, the UI, it can be a little confusing. So that's where GFX comes into the picture. We tend to our content on the GFX tool is built in a way that it's beginner friendly. I mean, A
Sure.
beginner can come and they can just log right in into GFX, start using it. A digital marketing manager can use it. Anyone can use it. There's no guessing work, required here.
You don't need an expert basically to
Yeah,
help you.
exactly.
Okay. And can you tell me a little bit about what exactly GFX is doing? So are you all identifying issues that are there in these things, or you're giving solutions, or how does that function?
Yeah, I would say both. So basically, what GFX does is, like I said, we have checkpoints. So we have divided a particular GA4 property into, these checkpoints. And so for a particular GA4 property, if there are issues, we have, three states. We have an optimal state, we have moderate, we have critical. So based on if a particular checkpoint is, set up, I mean, the
Ideally
data,
way.
yeah, exactly. The data that that particular GA4 property has for that particular checkpoint is right. The status is optimal.
Sure.
If there are, minor issues here or there, the status is moderate, and then there's critical. If there are issues that need to be, checked right away,
Sure.
there is critical issue. And I would say the setup tips, the troubleshooting tips on how to, go ahead and fix it is according to these issues. We have,
Okay.
step by step, implementation process listed down there in a very easy to understand text. And then we have videos as well showing, showcasing how you can go ahead and
That's
fix it.
amazing.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's
And you did mention a couple of checkpoints. So you said something about UTM persistence. Can you explain a little bit about what UTM is and why people need to have this persistence, or how
yeah.
would you define that?
Sure. It's actually great you picked that particular checkpoint because it is very important. One big feature of GA4 is, it's a standalone tool which helps you analyze, ROI, ROAS from all
Right.
different marketing, tools where you're running ads for your particular website. And GA4 will only be able to do that if you have UTMs, set up correctly on your website.
What is a UTM?
So
What is a full?
UTMs are, basically, let's say a user or a customer lands on your website through Google Ads or through Meta Ads or
Yeah.
from any other, third party referral. So UTMs are, if you had noticed, right to the next to the URL, there are certain query strings, certain
Oh
strings.
yeah, those random numbers and letters. Yeah, sure.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
So those random numbers, like random alphabets, like you said, those are nothing but those are UTMs.
Okay.
Those UTMs, as soon as someone lands on your website from those sources, you see those random alphabets, random strings. Those are UTMs. Those basically
Okay.
tell a GA4 property that this particular user, this particular session started from this particular source, and this was the
Oh,
campaign, and this was the the ad name for that matter,
sure.
and things like that. So let's now take an example of your website. You have a website set up, and you are running ads on Google, you are running ads on Meta, but you do not have UTM set up. You are getting people from LinkedIn, you are getting people from Pinterest and whatnot, but you do not have that UTM persistence thing is not there on your
So I
website.
won't know where they're coming from.
Exactly. I mean, the URL, once it loads, even if once it loads, but it's not persisting on throughout your website, it will just,
I lose my
yeah,
user
you will
basically.
lose it. So
Oh,
GA4 won't be able to,
that means a lot of money spent on ads where it might be
exactly.
wasted.
Yeah, yeah. That's why, it is very important to understand or to know if your website, I mean, if it has UTM persistence in it throughout all the URLs.
So this is one of your feature checkpoints in GFX.
Yeah, I would like to say yes. Yeah, I
Oh,
mean, from all the tools that we have seen or we know of, I don't think I don't think they do have any checkpoint that is checking on UTMs.
and for the logic as to how these things are set up, is it your GA4 expertise that comes into play to define all of this, and how does that work?
Yeah, so in a GFX setup, so we what we tend to do is it's not only about GA4. So like I said, this UTM tracking on the UTM persistence checkpoint, it's more or less checking your website if it has UTM or
Yeah.
not. So we just do not rely on GA4 stuff. If we need to check something on the user's website, we will do that as well.
So any publicly available information?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
As long as it helps, it helps the end user set up their, tracking correctly, and help them make better decisions, and generate more and more ROI. As long as it helps them,
That's the end goal, right?
yeah,
Get more
exactly,
money.
yeah.
Are there any other star checkpoints that you want to mention that are there in GFX?
Yes, sure. I would like to say, other than the UTM one, I would like to say there is traffic source effectiveness.
Okay.
Yeah,
What does that mean?
it kind of digs even deeper into your into where your traffic is coming from. So
Okay.
not just telling you the source medium of a particular user, but also digging deep into it and telling you what's the campaign and what's the ad group name and things like that, and that way you would know where are my UTMs breaking, where is the
Sure.
attribution going wrong, why is. So there is this thing called not set or unassigned traffic in GA4. So if one of these parameters are missing, GA4 straight away
Puts
assigns,
everything.
yes, exactly, attributes that particular session to unassigned or not set. So in order to fix these issues, in order to know where these unassigned or not set traffic is coming from, that's, I would say, this checkpoint is really important.
Okay. I also had read somewhere that there is something called direct traffic, and that is also like a big issue when people are running ads. Can you explain a little bit about that or what that issue is? And does your checkpoint like actually cover this as well?
Yeah, I would say direct traffic is one of the biggest issues with all the agencies who actually use GA4. It's the same as unassigned.
Okay.
It's a big mystery how GA4 works when it comes to. So like I said, if you have any one of those parameters missing, like the source, medium, or campaign, GA4. I don't know how GA4 works. It will assign it to unassigned, not set, or direct for that matter.
What does direct mean? Like someone just is coming onto your website
Yes,
without.
exactly.
Okay.
I mean, so technically, what direct traffic means is if you have your website abc.com, people actually know that URL. They go to the URL box right on the top of their browser. They type in abc.com and then visit it.
Okay.
Which I think, if you
That,
have 40% direct traffic, I don't think 40% people actually
yeah.
know your URL. So
Okay. Any other key checkpoints that you want to mention other than traffic source and UTM that we've spoken about?
yeah, there are many actually. I would say, I mean, right, to the back of my mind, I would say bot filtering.
Okay.
Yeah, checking for bot traffic. I would say
I
that
think
is,
that is also really important. I was
yes,
also reading something about the traffic going really crazy high because of bot traffic coming in from various different regions and all.
yeah, exactly.
So understanding that would be really helpful for someone like me running a website.
Yes, absolutely. So, what it does, it checks for traffic coming in from, basically suspicious traffic coming in
Yeah.
from polluted domains. Just checks for how much polluted data you actually have in your GA4 property, and then based on that, you can have data filters that actually removes all these or removes
The
sessions or
spam.
events. Yeah, basically
Okay.
from these traffic sources.
And then you're not spending money on your spam traffic either. So
Yeah.
in turn, you're getting more ROI. Okay, that's interesting. And do you all have anything related to all these AI tools coming up? Like, how do I know when, if my traffic is coming from these AI tools, since that is the new future, I guess nobody's searching on Google anymore. So does VFX cover any of that?
Yep, actually. So, I mean, we have spent a quite a, I mean, we have spent quite a lot of time in GFX already. But since AI is coming into the picture, I would say we are still in early phases. Yeah, because I would say, I mean, for now, we have these 20 plus checkpoints, which is great. But with AI coming into the picture, we are also integrating AI with GFX as well.
Okay.
So, in order to make our reports more personalized, compare what they have in their GA4,
Sure.
and then, tell them how can they make it better, in order to make,
So AI recommendations and things like.
exactly, yeah, AI recommendations based on what website they have, what type of website is it? Is it an e-commerce website? Is it a SaaS
Okay. That
website?
does make a difference, right? Because my goal as an e-commerce website might be different from, say, somebody just looking as like just having their services on their website.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's how you actually put it. So, Yeah, exactly. Based on what type of website you have, you'll have similar events, right? And then based on that, I mean, it's very important to understand what type of website you have, and then based on that, what events you have in GA4. Because tracking events is, I would say, the most important action you can do using GA4.
True.
So if you have key events on your website and you're not tracking that, that's a loss. And with AI coming into the picture, we'll be easily telling our users, if they are not tracking something that they should, we would tell them that you should go ahead and track that in
Sure.
order to understand, your traffic better.
And just touching back upon your traffic source point, a lot of people are not searching on Google anymore. They use AI tools, right? So does GFX also address traffic coming from these sources as a separate thing, or is that included in like your, say, like your source medium that is already present in GA?
Yes, actually, that's a great point. I would say, yeah, we do have a checkpoint that covers that. We have So basically, what we are doing is we are actually checking, all the traffic coming in from AI sources, because I
Okay,
would say, that's the next big thing coming up in the
sure.
market. There are terms around it as well. I'm sure you must know about SEO.
Yes.
So there is GEO now in the picture,
Yes.
generative engine optimization,
Also,
and I'm
search everywhere optimization is what they're calling SEO nowadays. So,
yes,
yeah.
exactly. So, I would say, I would say in less than no time, I would say these AI tools like ChatGPT, they would start running ads on their, you
I think
know,
I read an article about them starting it soon, like,
yeah. So
or some
it's
sort of shopping thing where they get a percentage of the sales that happen through ChatGPT. So that
yeah,
is the next thing that is gonna
exactly.
break through.
So yeah, you would wanna, check how much traffic you're getting from these AI tools, because it is going to be the next big thing in the future. And yeah, we do have a checkpoint that actually checks for it, and we
Okay,
actually, recommend, building a custom channel grouping for that, so that
what is a
it's
custom channel grouping? Sorry,
so based on your requirement, you can. So there are default channel groups in GA that.
are these channels from where my traffic is coming?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
So there is referral. I mean, unassigned. We talked about, there is referral. There is paid. There is direct.
yeah.
Yeah, sort of all these are predefined from GA4. But then if you want, you can have a custom one of your own, like the
Okay,
one we spoke about, the AI one.
sure. So you can just make a custom channel group, and then you'd get to know from what all AI sources your traffic is
Yes,
coming.
exactly. So you can
Okay.
just create a channel group, add a logic. I mean, here it's very simple. You can just add a logic for, so basically, if you're coming on a particular website through ChatGPT, your session domain would say something like chatgpt.com/referral. So you can just easily, add a logic for your custom channel grouping
Okay.
and going forward.
And it gives you the separation by AI channel as well. It's not all grouped together.
Yes, yes. That
Okay.
depends on what logic you set, basically.
What is the ideal way? Do you want?
I
Should
would
it
say,
be?
yeah, I would say just create a logic for session source, and then, put a regex there containing
Okay.
all the, common domains, common
Sure.
AI domains like DeepSeek, ChatGPT, and yeah, then it'll reflect.
Okay. And you did touch upon a little bit about how AI is coming into GFX. You did say that there are recommendations and things. Are you also planning to give the troubleshoot and setup tips and things like that that you mentioned much earlier, personalized to the user based on AI? Because I think that would be a little bit more helpful for the end
Yes.
user.
Yep,
So,
yep, yep.
how would that work?
Exactly. So that's one of the things that are in the pipeline for GFX. Like we mentioned before, the uh, AI suggested recommendations for a particular website, and when compared to what they have in their GA4, so based on that, let's say for event tracking, if we highlight or if we flag, XYZ issues, based on what type of website they have, what are the events that they are tracking, and what are the events that they should track.
Sure.
Yeah, our troubleshooting tips or our setup, or our best practices will be, revolving around that itself.
That would be good.
Yeah. Right now, I mean, for now, it is just a static text showing up. But yeah, I mean, that's something in the pipeline as well.
Okay. And say I in GA4, we get to see data on like a daily basis, I guess. Like it refreshes every 24 hours or something. Does GFX help us flag these issues or like set up monitoring or something like that as well? Uh, because I think as an end user, I would want to know if something breaks randomly, if somebody is pushing something to prod and something is breaking, I would want to know. So is that something that y'all are looking at as well?
Yes, exactly. I mean, that is something that we are working on as well. We are working on, setting up alerts and monitoring on our GFX, having that, sort of like a dashboard view for our users,
Sure.
wherein they generate a report once, and then going forward, let's say if there's a unusual spike or an unusual low in their event count or
Sure.
their session count, we send them a notification and tell them that something might be broken, and you can
I think that would be really helpful because
yeah,
then you don't
exactly.
need to deal with the GA UI that you mentioned earlier that is complex in itself.
Yes,
So,
yes, yes, absolutely. So, like you said, it's very important because, uh, for these businesses, for these teams all around the globe, identifying the issue itself takes a lot of time.
yep.
Then you can go ahead and,
You
of course, fix it, but identifying it itself takes a lot of time. So, if we can have something like alerts and monitoring, something that sends out emails to us as soon as something breaks or something, or if you feel like something is breaking, that I would say that would be great.
okay? And how do you think GFX is different from your competitors? Because I guess there might be a lot of people doing this audit as well for GA4.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, there are tons of competitors for GFX in the market, and one big realization that hit us early when we were, making GFX was just auditing a particular GA4 setup and just telling them or just flagging the issues won't be enough. I mean, I
Because then again, you would need somebody to come and help you
Yeah,
fix
exactly.
it.
Exactly. I mean, our users, the businesses would then come up to us and they'll be like, "So how do I fix it? How do we actually fix it?" Because I think that's where all our competitors, all the tools that we actually, look at for GA4 for now, I think that's where they are missing as well. I mean, when it comes to flagging issues, I would say, GFX is at par with them, but what makes GFX different is, uh, you know, at the same time, we actually tell them how they can actually fix it. Like I said, step by step implementation process. We have videos
Yep.
showcasing the entire process. And the other thing that I would say where GFX is different, like I said, the content, the way we, show stuff on GFX, the UI, the entire process of how you first land on GFX, log in or sign up, and then generate a audit report. Everything has been, made in such a way that it's beginner friendly. Anyone, literally anyone can come, and they won't require a a guide or something to use GFX. They can just come and
Get started
get
with it.
started right away.
Okay, just to end this, any last notes that you want to mention about GFX or your journey with GFX so far?
Yeah, the journey has been thrilling. I would say the uh, the idea of making GFX. It started from pure frustration. I mean, to be honest, because we would audit tons of GA4 properties for our businesses, for teams, around the world, and we would be checking the same thing again and again, and issues would repeat for each and every the same issues would repeat
Common
for,
issues,
yeah,
I
common
think.
issues.
And is that because of the migration from UA to GA? Are these
Yeah,
issues there?
yeah,
Okay.
that is a very big issue. I mean, that is a very big this thing reason behind it. And if you read surveys, if you read reports on the internet, I would say around 70 to 80% of GA4 properties have one or the other issue, and people.
That's crazy though.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
everyone is relying on GA for their data and money, but the data is incorrect. So
Yes, absolutely. And the fun part was when we actually told them that, hey, this is actually wrong, and why you should go ahead and fix it, what it actually does. They used to, I mean, even they were surprised that how I mean, why is it wrong in that GFO property? And yeah, so like I said, it started from pure frustration. I mean, we tend to do the same thing again and again for each of our clients, and that's when we decided, and yeah, that's where the inspiration for GFX came along.
okay, thank you. That was a very productive session, I guess. I got to learn a lot about GA and GFX. Thank you for joining me, and that's it. Thank you.
Thank you.